All right, so there are three kind of common ways to mark the animal, but it depends on your goal. So we use the Sharpie mark because our goal was to mark them temporarily, and I only needed the mark to be visible for a very short period of time. So you can think about this as a very non-permanent, short-term tattoo. And this is fine to mark the animals, again, if you're only interested in the mark staying on the animal for a couple of days. The next common way to mark them is with these ear tags. So these were actually developed to mark salmon, but there are a tiny little metal tag with a number on, and you use this little device here to crimp the tag onto the ear of the pack rat, and we usually do it right down here so it sits close to the head of the animal so it doesn't get pinched or torn out. And these are semi-permanent. They can stay in for a couple of years, but occasionally they do get caught on a thorn and ripped out. So these are a cheap, relatively long-term way to tag the animals, and you've got to have pretty good eyes to read that number. There's usually a 3-digit number on those. A very permanent way, but a bit more labour-intensive to put into the animal and a lot more expensive, are these pit tags. And these are the same kind of tags that you would chip your dogs and cats with, and they're kind of cool. I'll pull one out. They are a little glass capsule, and inside the glass capsule is a magnet and copper wire wound around the magnet. And each one of these pit tags has a unique number that identifies it. And we would use this rather gruesome looking syringe. We would pop the pit tag into the syringe, and then when we capture the animal, what we do is we grab some of the loose skin just between the scapulars, and we sort of pinch up the loose skin, and then we insert the needle, and then we use, you'll see the tag drop out, we use that little plunger inside the needle to insert the tag just below the skin. And that's a very permanent way of marking the animals, and it's read with this device here. So here's our tag. Before we insert the tag, we would read the number. And the number on this tag is a long one. It's 985-121-0137-33739. So they're all unique. We would pop that inside the animal. It pretty much stays inside for the life of the animal. And then when we capture the animal in a trap, we can very often just wave this wand over the trap with the animal inside, and that will read the tag number. So it's much less invasive for the animal on the back end, but of course it's quite invasive to insert the chip on the front end. So this would be a very permanent way of marking the animals if you were doing a very long-term study and you wanted to maybe follow animals throughout their entire lifetime. So they're the three common ways to mark animals.